Hey everyone, George here, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be showing you how I do a typical water change on one of my 75-gallon discus tanks. This is in a setting where it's pretty much the family room area of my home. This is not the gallery. It's too early in the morning for the lights to be on there, so I just wanted to show you what was going on here. Now, one of the problems I noticed this morning is we have a problem with the hose having an issue right in this area here where it connects. So I'm going to go ahead and change that out, cut it to about right here where the hose is in good shape, and reattach it. And when I'm done with that, we'll get back to showing you how that water change is done. Well, this is a utility sink that is just off my family room. It is not used for anything. It's basically the laundry room area. And this sink really is a fantastic situation for me to be able to do these water changes so easily. Now, I have repaired this here, and we're going to check it for any leaks right now. And that would mean turning on the water, making sure we have a little bit of a problem here right at the faucet area. So we're going to turn this off, and we're going to redo this just to make sure that whatever's causing that water problem in that area, that we can get that fixed. Maybe have to put some Teflon tape on it like you see here, or maybe we just had a little bit of a cross-threading issue going on here. I'm going to try to fix that, and then we'll come back and show you more here. So basically what we had going on there was a gasket that had been worn, probably because it had been in here so long. So I did replace that with a new gasket. These gaskets are part of the kit that come with it. They send you a couple of extra if you buy a high-end one like this is a Python. These high-end kits give you a little bit of extra parts. So that should solve our problem. We're going to go ahead and hook this up one more time and see if we can get this thing to seal the way it's supposed to, and turn the water on at that point and make sure that we don't have any leaks whatsoever. That's good and tight. And now we'll go ahead and, excuse my hand there, turn the water on just to make sure that we don't have any leaks coming out of here or here where I've made this new connection. So it doesn't appear that we do. So I keep putting my hand in the way there. So what we're going to do at this point here is show you the other parts to this. These are systems that most of you are probably familiar with. This one goes into the tank, and as you'll notice, this also has a valve on it. I always leave that valve in that position simply because there's no reason for me to change it. This can all be done on this end here. When you're emptying, you have this valve that goes straight up and down here, and when you're refilling the tank, all you have to do is turn it. Now, I know on this faucet here that I have it regulated automatically to go to the exact temperature of the tank that is in the room that we're going to be doing this, which is about 20 feet away, and that is at 86 degrees exactly. That way there's no shocking the fish, and there's no problems with issues of temperature. So I'm going to come back and get this kind of set up and show you how this works, and we'll do a water change from there. So basically we're going to take this guy and we're going to go in here to the tank that we want to do this water change, and I'll be lifting this up, this little piece of glass here, and putting this into the tank, and I'll show you that when I'm done here. I've only got one hand, so Unfortunately, I don't have anybody else to hold the camera, but this will be put into the tank. And then I'm going to explain to you the filtration on this tank a little bit further before we actually do the water change, to give you some idea as to kind of an overkill on filtration, but really a nice setup as far as keeping these beautiful fish in good shape and making sure that this water is absolutely as pristine as it can be. So when we come back, I'm going to have this set up in the tank, and then we'll go through that filtration a little bit and show you how all that works. Basically what I've done is I've lifted the glass up, I've inserted this down, which is exactly a quarter. So I do a quarter water change on this tank twice a day. That gives these fish absolutely the best water change that I can do without overdoing it, but keeping these guys with the best water quality that I can. Now, as I said, I simply lifted up this glass like this, inserted this in, but I also moved the valve over in this direction. This valve, or outflow is what I should say, is movable. So when I move it in this direction, that locks this into place and leaves it at exactly a quarter of a water change. I've figured this all out and calculated how much water goes in and out of this. And so what we're going to do is show you a little bit of the filtration on this. Now, this is a all-in-one system, and I love these. This is the Peninsula water box, all-in-one. It's a 75-gallon. Now, what you have here are 2 water socks. I just changed those out the other day. They're already dirty, but they'll last quite a while. You can rinse these out and wash them in tank water. You don't want to wash them in anything else. Sorry that the plant's in the way here. My wife is propagating a plant, and she loves to do it in this fish water because it's the best nutrition, and they're pulling a lot of nice nutrition from the water. Getting back to the sock, there's 2 of them here, and also I have the air stone going through here. And because I want to know where that air stone is, and it's not intrusive in the tank, but it is giving the oxygenation to the water, I run it through one of the little holes in the grid here, and then cap it off with the stone at the bottom. And I'll come around here and show you. As you can see, that hangs about right there and is not interfering at all with the rest of the tank. So that's a fantastic thing to have. You might want to swap one of those stones out once every 2 or 3 months as they start to clog up from any water hardness. Now, I'm very fortunate not to have a ton of water hardness, but at the same time, they start to slow up a little bit over a period of time from calcification or water, any hardness of the water, any minerals. That will tend to make those things slow up a little bit. So to keep it in the best flow possible with maximum oxygenation, can't talk, it's early in the morning, sorry about that. This does give you the ability to just swap these things out really quickly. You don't even have to move that hose at all that goes down to the stone. You can simply lift the top glass off here, remove it, and reach in and remove the old stone, put on the new one, and you're ready to go again. Now, one of the things I recommend is, because these stones do come in packages and they do have some kind of a smell to them, I'm not sure what it is, but I like to run those in a pitcher or a tank that doesn't have any fish in it. That gives me the ability to clean that stone off to make sure it's safe for the fish that are in the tank. Now, in here, well, let's go back to here. We have, in this area here, is all sponges and ceramic. We also have some volcanic rock in here, and we also have those plastic balls that are used That's all in this middle system here. This whole system could run just off this without even having these here. But like I said, because these are expensive fish and I don't want to have problems, I do add this extra, and we'll get into that in a minute here. But this is the pump area that came with the tank. So this, like I said, is an all-in-one. And this goes down to a pump and then comes out here. So the water comes in over here, goes through this whole process of filtration, and then ends up in this chamber here, and from this chamber here it will go out into the tank. Now, like I said, that would be absolutely 100% capable of sustaining this tank, but because, like I said, these fish are so important to me and some of them are very expensive, you don't want to take any chances, so I have added extra filtration to that. Now I'm going to come down here and show you. This is a really nice cabinet here that was made specifically for this tank. I had it done. I couldn't get one through Waterbox that would fit in this room the way I liked it, and I didn't like the color, so I actually had this one made. Now I'm going to open this up and show you. Hopefully you can see that this is an Awase, and I believe this is the 600 series. I think it's a Awase 680. I'm not positive of that, but this has in it a heater. You have the pump here to get it to prime, and you also have your two hoses, the in and out, that brings us up to this area here, and that would be these two bigger ones on the end. Now there are two smaller ones, and I'm going to show you in a minute why those are there. But what this is doing is before this water goes out into the tank, it is circulating this through this system down here one more time, and I've got layers of sponge, filter media such as volcanic rock, ceramic, and also the plastic that comes with these is a little bit weird shaped. They're kind of like little X's that are really fat, and I don't know why they use that instead of the balls, but they do, and it works really, really well. This thing is absolutely silent. You cannot hear anything that is going on with this filtration at all. And we're covering a couple of different things here, but at the same time I thought it would be beneficial for you to see exactly how this runs and the overkill I really have on this tank, and then we'll get to the water change portion of it. Now, as you saw earlier, there are two here that are smaller, and this goes down to another one that's right here. I don't usually have this sitting out here, but for purposes of videoing, I wanted to show you. This is an Awase. I cannot remember what this one is. I do believe it's their 100, and this just gives it that extra little push on filtration. That there's a heater in here also. Both of them are set at 86 degrees. I like to keep all of my discus tanks exactly the same. That's set at 86 degrees. And just to make sure we don't have any problems at all, we also have, let me look down here real quick, this heater system by Hygar, which is a 500 watt system that is digital, that goes all the way up and goes down into this area. And as you can see from an angle there, it's in there, and it is a digital heater set at 86.5 to 87 degrees, because these things tend to run about a degree less than what they actually suggest on the meter itself. So that really is the crux of it, guys, as far as the filtration goes. And as you can see, water is absolutely pristine in here. Fish are fantastically kept clean, and if you look at my sand down here, which has been in here for over a year, it's as white as the day I put it in there, because about once or twice a week I just glide over the top of it with this, and that pulls out anything that does not get pulled out through the top over here and get filtered through. And that just makes the sand look nice all the time. Now the lights are not on in this tank because it's early in the morning. I didn't want to shock the fish by turning lights on. I want them to wake up gradually, and we'll show you this water change, and then we'll turn the lights on and let you take a look at the tank itself here. You've seen this tank in my videos. This is one of my favorite tanks to video simply because it's such a beautiful tank. And we'll get back to that in just a minute, but I'm going to show you the water change and how that works right now. As I said, as you can see, this is exactly right down to a quarter of the water level in this tank, so it's calculated perfectly so that I know every single time that I'm doing a quarter water change twice a day. Some days I miss, and that's okay, but 99% of the time we get that quarter water change in, whether I'm here or not. It's a system that's set up to make it so, like I said, even somebody who's just watching these fish, I can train them on this one day and they're easily able to do this water change without much help or any problems. As you can see, this valve here that I talked about is straight this way. I never change that because there's no reason to change that one. Everything is done in this area over here, which is the utility area where we will start the water change. Now you want to make sure that the valve is in the straight up and down position. This is water being removed from the tank. Now when we get back to putting the water back in, it is simply, as I said, the water's already at the temperature that I want. I know exactly where it is here on these two faucets, and once I get that and know that I've got the water exactly where I want it, we will simply switch the valve here, and that will refill the tank. And this all takes literally about 10 minutes of time. So we're going to go ahead and start this up and start doing the water change on this. But before we do that, we're going to make sure that we turn off everything in the tank so that we don't have an issue with these areas here going dry in the process here. So I'm going to shut this door. Still got family members sleeping here, so I don't want to wake them up. It's not really loud, but it's loud enough to create an issue. I don't have to worry about watching the water level go in there, because what will happen is as soon as it starts to get down to that quarter, it's going to start making a noise. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Got that going. And we're going to turn the hot all the way to full, and I'm going to feel it. You can tell exactly where the temperature is going to be, so that when we refill this, we don't have to worry at all as to how much temperature is in the tank. We know that it's exactly at 86 degrees, so we're going to turn that back just a little bit. Feel it a little bit more. I can tell just by my finger exactly where it is, and I also have it marked, as you can see right here. I have it marked as to where it should be and what it should feel like. So that is changing the water right now. Let's go back out and look at where it's happening in the tank, and then we'll come back in here and we'll flip that switch when we get down to that level. So as you can see, the water level is getting down to about that quarter that I talked about. This is all of maybe 3 to 4 minutes. And as we get right to the tip of that, just so that we don't put a lot of pressure on the hose, we're going to go in here and we're going to go in this room over here where this hose is coming out of, and we're going to flip that switch really quickly to start adding water back in to the tank. So as I said, the water is regulated at exact temperature. I'm going to go ahead and flip this, and that's basically now filling the tank in the other room there. And like I said, it's just going to take a couple of more minutes. So the process, by the time I'm done, is literally probably all of about 7 to 8 minutes to do the water change. All the other stuff that I showed you is stuff that I would normally not have to show you. The water change portion, as I said, is a very, very short period of time. We'll take a look at the tank out there as it gets full and show you that that happens very quickly, and we'll finish up this video. As you can see, the tank is refilling now, and just within a couple of minutes here, you've seen this thing go from all the way down here to up here, and we have a couple of more things that we need to do to be done here, but we're waiting for this to get to about right here, which will be maybe another 2 minutes. And as you can see, this is just a very, very quick process, and no stress on the fish whatsoever. The temperature in the tank is exactly, water coming in is exactly what the temperature in the tank is, so there's no chance of shocking any of the main characters in the tank, which are the discus or any of the smaller fish. The cories tend to be a good indicator if your temperature is too high, because the oxygen level will drop and they will kind of stand up a little bit on the back part of their body, and that's an indication that maybe your water is a little too warm, so you can quickly adjust that. So I'm watching this, and as you can see, we're almost to the point of turning this off here. I'm going to go ahead and let you see this through, and make sure, see, we're right there at that level now where I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. We're going to go in here, and we're just simply going to turn all of these valves off, and that's really it. Now when I'm done, I always put this in this position again. For right now, we don't want to be draining water out of the tank, so when I come back, I'm going to show you the final things that I do, such as adding conditioners to the water or anything else that I might need to add today. If today is a schedule for plants or whatever, I would normally put in potassium, iron, Flourish by Chem, any of those things that are going to be useful to my plants, and I would normally be doing that as well. But when I come back, I'm going to show you the finishing of this, and we'll close with a couple of comments here that help you understand this system a little bit better. So as you can see here, I've coiled up the hose here. I'm done with it. I've put this valve back into this position here. This gives me an opportunity to be ready for the next water change, which I will do later on this afternoon. Like I said, I do this twice a day. That way I've got maximized clean water in the fish. So between the two water changes, there's a 50% water change done on this tank every single day. Now, like I said, I'm not perfect. There are days that I miss, but obviously the fish are not harmed by that at all. They could go a couple of weeks if there was a problem. Now, there are times when I go on vacation or I'm on a business trip or something, and I may need someone to do this water change for me. So I've got it set up so anyone can learn this within 10 or 15 minutes of me showing them. When we get done here, we're going to go back in, and I'm going to show you some of the other things that I do to make the final touches on this, whether it be, like I said, adding in any kind of chemicals that are needed for the tank. Of course, we do need a water conditioner in there, and I use Prime by Chem, and that is the perfect one for, I think, any tank that you have out there, because it does so many things. It lowers any kind of ammonia, nitrites, nitrates in the water, and that's a benefit. Even though we don't have that issue, if there were a problem in the tank, it would automatically lower that down. What we're going to do first here is we're going to turn on this down here, and that gets our tank going and starts everything up running again, including all the heaters and everything that are necessary, and of course our oxygenation system, the bubbles, and the fish are pretty much awake at this point. And the last thing that we need to do is put a chemical in here for conditioning the water, and that would be this right here, which we'll add to the tank right now. If I can get it open, I've got one hand, like I said. I think I got it here. And what we do typically is I'll add this into this particular chamber right here, because this is where the water is going back into the tank, and that will immediately prevent any kind of any kind of chlorine or anything that might be in the water. It's going to neutralize that and make the water perfect for these fish. So that's really it, guys. Put this back down here. As you can see, I have a variety of foods in here. They're all labeled. What I like about this particular setup here is you can decorate a little bit with some of your favorite books or whatever. Because this is my family room, I like to be able to keep this tank in top shape by making sure that everything looks nice and that the tank is well cared for, as I said. So as you can see, simple water change. We'll have some closing remarks when I come back. So that is it, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Please hit that like, subscribe, comment, and also share this video, because that's how the channel grows. I hope that I was able to show you a water change. A lot of people have been asking me to do that, and I hope this one was a good video to kind of give you an idea on how that works for me. We will see you on the next one. Until then, we're out of here.